Good evening, everyone. Let's see. If I were to tell you that a group of countries wants to change the world, would you believe me? Surely not, but it's true though. Today we will dive into the BRICS Plus from the history to where they're going to. Basically, it started like that. In 2001, Jim O'Neill, chief economist at Goldman Sachs, came out with a study in which he showed the 4 countries with the greatest potential in the next years. There was Brazil, Russia, India, and China. He called them the BRICS. Later on, those countries actually got together. How did that happen? In 2006, the foreign ministers of those countries met at the UN meeting. And later on, in 2009, they had their first summit in Russia. And during that meeting, they made their plan for the future. And one of the aspects that they covered was their support to emerging countries. I will go back to that later on. South Africa joined the group in 2011. So they went from the BRIC to the BRICS. Also, in the same year, they decided to have a meeting each year. The New Development Bank, created in 2014 and based in China, this bank has for purpose to provide money to the members for the big projects, but also to compete with the IMF by being more open and less strict. The BRICS basically want to be an alternative to the US. The two main problems with the IMF is the fact that there's a lot of rules. When a country want to borrow money from the IMF, they have to conform to many things. And also, among the IMF, the country that are more rich, they have more voting power, which the BRICS don't like it. They don't like that model. So they came with that model, with their model, in order to compete with the IMF and the Western world by being more open and less strict. So more countries will be available to receive money so they can build their economy and their country. A big question. What are their objectives? That's a good question. They have 2 goals in mind. The first is to be a viable option against the US. They don't like the fact that the US is the one that basically rules the world, and they want the balanced power. They want some part of the cake too. And also, they want to grow their economy and be more healthy. Excellent. But can the BRICS compete with the West? Oh, that's a good question too. Characteristics. First of all, together, the BRICS have 40% of the world population. Roughly, it is 3.2 billion of people, which is a lot, isn't it? And also, they worth 1/4 of the world GDP in 2023. Moreover, Russia and China are members of the UN Security Council, which means that you're protected. If the UN want to do something against them, basically Russia and China will take over and protect the group. Also, Russia, China, and India have the nuclear power. So yeah, as we can see, they are really strong. But not everything is beautiful. For example, in the group, there's a lot of differences among the countries. For example, India, South Africa, and Brazil are somewhat democracy. I said that because I believe there is no perfect democracy. There is no country with an excellent democracy. So, I said they're somewhat democratic. Still, we can see that they are more in the UN model. They believe more in the UN model. So yeah, it's a good point. It's a big difference. Also, Russia and China, together, they have a different opinion. They believe they have their own point of view, their own political point of view, which I believe is also, they have the right to believe in what they want. Also, China has twice the GDP of the other countries, which make it more powerful. Exactly because since they are the most present, the bigger, they can easily influence the group and influence the decisions. Also, one of the main aspect of the BRICS philosophy is the fact they want to create a world in which there's many ideology, not only one, like the US wants. They believe that the world is better when there's multiple ideologies, multiple ideas. So that's a world they want to create. They want a world in which people can do what they want, actually. Not really, but in what the countries are free to do. They believe in the sovereignty of countries. But are they friends? Not really. Because, exactly. So, because for them, the BRICS is a tool. Because each country has its own agenda. Each country has its own goal. For example, China aims to be the first world power by 2049. And Russia, on the other hand, wants to reinforce its relationship with non-Western countries. So as you can see, they have two different goals, but still they use the BRICS as a tool, as a way, as a mean to get to where they want to be. Where are they now? New members. Basically, on January 1st, 2024, the BRICS added new countries. So they went from the BRICS to the BRICS Plus, because there's other countries. So plus, you get the point. And those countries are Egypt, Ethiopia, Iran, Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates. Yeah, that's it. Which shows us that the BRICS Plus, are gaining more and more attractivity, because more and more countries are turning the US and prefer to go to the other option. They believe in the BRICS Plus model and they want to be a part of it, because they are a bit tired of the US monopoly over the world. So they want something new. That's why they gain so much attractivity. However, now, since Egypt and Ethiopia are members of the BRICS Plus, therefore, South Africa is now in competition with them, because since they're in the same continent, they are in competition because they're basically in the same place. So, that's not good. That's not good. Also, Iran and Saudi Arabia are basically long-time opponents, which is also interesting, which also shows us the fact that the BRICS are really free. They believe that every country has the right to do what it wants. And also, also Saudi Arabia is an ally of the US. So we can see that the BRICS Plus believe in the world, and they're not fear to add anyone. Where are they going? The main question. Predictions. So as we can see, the BRICS Plus are gaining more and more attractivity. They're gaining more and more attention by the world. So logically, they will gain more and more countries. More and more countries that are like tired of the US model will turn over the BRICS and join the alliance, which will increase China influence because, as I said, they are the main plug of the group. They are the one basically at the top of the group, which can lead to a possible second Cold War. And I said they might collapse, but it's not true. Because for them, the BRICS is a tool. So why will they want to get to disappear if each of them want to get something from the group? So it's a point that is not true. To conclude, as I said, the change is happening right now. More and more countries will want to join the BRICS. And we will have to be aware of the change and know that something bigger is coming. Thank you.